Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sonu K. Katnoria, Assistant Professor, School of Hospitality, GNA University. Today, I am going to discuss about core principle of soups and their classification. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, learner will be able to define soup, explain its importance in culinary practices, understand the basic principle involved in the preparation of soups, classify soups into different categories with suitable examples, identify the key characteristics of each type of soup. Introduction of soup. Soups are playing a very important role in the modern cuisine and in the modern menus and are becoming a very popular nowadays. The main reason is their high nutritional value, which provide numerous health benefits. Soups are light, easily digestible, and can be prepared with a variety of ingredients like meat, like vegetables, cereals, starch, etc. They are also very economically compared to other meals and requires less time and efforts to cook. Soups can be served as an appetizer, main dish, or even in the snacks times also. Their versatile taste and their benefits make soups a preferred choice in today's dining trends. So, soup is the one of the oldest and most universal dishes known to mankind. Every culture and cuisine across the world has its style of soup, ranging from simple broth to rich and creamy preparations. Traditionally served as a first course of a meal, soup usually stimulate the appetite and prepare the digestive system for the dishes to follow. And apart from being nutritious, soup also hold a cultural significance and reflect their regional culinary traditions. If we talk about the definition of soup, soup is a liquid or semi-liquid dishes prepared from vegetable, meat, seafood, poultry, flavored with the herbs and spices. These ingredients together create a unique taste, aroma, and flavor that make a soup delicious and satisfying. Classification of soup. Soup can be classified into 4 different categories: thin, thick, cold, and international. Thin soup. Firstly, we are discussing about the thin soup. Thin soup is clear, light in consistency, usually prepared without adding any kind of thickening agents. It may contain small garnish like vegetable, noodles, herbs, or any kind of meat or seafood, etc. Thin soup are divided into 2 different types, unpassed and passed. Unpassed soup include the broth and bouillon, or under the unpassed, the soup includes the consomme. The thick soup, usually a thick soup is one of that soup has a rich and heavy consistency of its thickness with the ingredients like puree, like cream, like vegetable, any starch, rice. And thick soup consists of several type of like cream, velouté, whisk, puree, chowder, etc. Cold soup. The number 3rd one is cold soup. Cold soup is basically serves a well chilled, usually refreshing in taste, and often made from fresh vegetable, fruit, yogurts. They are especially popular in warm climates, where they are typically served chilled, for example like gazpacho and bichois. And there the last category is international soups. Finally, the international soup are internationally or specialty soup that originate from the different countries or culture around the world. Each soup reflect the local ingredients, the cooking techniques and culinary tradition of their regions come from. They often several as representations of the country's cuisine and carry unique flavor profile that they distinguish them from the classical mother sauces and other derivatives as well. These includes the different international soups like mulgatwani, the chicken broth, kokelike, kam chowder, borscht, weird soup, French onion soup, like others. Now we are discussing about thin soup, which is unpassed soup. The first category is broth. Broth are among the simplest soup to prepare. Normally their flavors comes from their long simmering of a variety of ingredients together in one pot, and it can be consist of meat, fish, vegetable, etc. Voignon is the French term for broth. Usually both are the similar. It refers to a clear soup prepared by the simmering meat, fish, vegetables. In modern uses, it also refers to a concentrated cubes powder which is known as voignon cubes, used for making instant soup or adding flavor to the dishes. If we talked about the recipe, so there is one recipe, chicken broth recipe. For making of chicken broth, we required the half pound of bony chicken pieces like leg, wings, neck or backbones, celery ribs with leaf cut into chunks, carrot cut into chunks, medium onions which usually cut in quarter, bay leaf, stems of rosemary, thyme if the available in a fresh form, or if it will be the dry form, so we can use the 1 tablespoon of rosemary herbs, and then the 8 to 10 peppercorns, 2 quarters of cold water. So how we prepare the recipe now? So the method is, place all the ingredients in a soup pot, place it on the burner and slowly brings to a boil. Reduce the heat until the mixture is just at a simmer. Uncovered for 3 to 4 hours and remove the skim if it comes on top of the soup. Set chicken aside. We need to remove the chicken which is already in the soup, and cool enough to handle, and remove the meat from the bones. Discard the bones and save the meat for another uses. We can use that meat for the garnish of the soup. Strain the broth, refrigerate for 8 hours or overnight, and remove the fat from the surfaces before to use. Now we are talking about the thin soup. Thin soups are usually passed soup, and there is one example of thin soup. It is consomme. Consomme is concentrated a thin clear soup made from meat, poultry, fish. The word has the same origin, is consummate, meaning to the bring to completion or perfection. A consomme is cooked long enough for most of the ingredients to be extracted into the liquid. In the most general sense, consomme is a meat, poultry or fish stock which has gone through a special clarification process, served hot or cold. Or this is the process of how we can clarify the consomme soup. We require the few of ingredients. With the help of these ingredients, we can clarify the consomme. So the ingredients are chicken stock. Chicken stock must be a rich broth. Usually we required 2 liters if we need to have to make for 6 of the portions. Lean ground meat 250 grams, and egg whites 2 numbers, onions 1 small and need to chop or cut into fine small equal dices, carrots the similar, we need to cut into fine chop. Celery again, 1 stick and fine chop. Parsley, 1 stems, a few sprigs, and the same the thyme. Bay leaf, crushed peppercorn, should be 6 to 8, and salt usually as per the taste. So after making the consomme, when we added all the ingredients into the stock and we start to boil the soup, when it start to boil, all the ingredients come coagulated on top of the stock or soup. When it start to coagulated, we usually remove, or we need to medium of the heat and start making simmering it for a long time. When after a simmering for a long time, we remove it from the burner, and usually with the help of a ladle we have to take out the stock or soup from the that liquid, that mixture usually in which we prepare the consomme, and we need to take out the stock usually very carefully, so that other ingredient which are already mixed into the soup should not be mixed together with the clarified stock or soup. Now, thick soup. So we are discussing about the thick soup. Thick soup, the first one is puree. Puree are the slightly thicker than the cream soup, are somewhat the coarser in texture. They are normally based on dried peas or lentil or starchy vegetables like mushroom, like a potato, like carrot, like other kind of vegetable. With the help of these vegetable, we have to prepare the puree soup. Recipe of carrot puree soup. Ingredients for the 4 portion. The recipe is written for the 4 portion. Carrot 500 grams. First we need to wash, peel and cut into chop. Onion, peel and then cut into slightly chop. Butter, usually 30 gram or 2 tablespoon. Vegetable stock or chicken stock as per the required should be 1 liter. Salt to taste. White pepper to taste. Cream optional. 50 ml or fresh herbs, parsley, dill or any kind of other herbs which we need to require to give the flavor with the herbs for garnish. Methods: heat the water in a saucepan and saute the onion until soft. Add chopped carrot and cook it until 2-3 minutes and pour the stock in. Bring to a boil and simmer until the carrots are tender. Blend the mixture into a smooth puree. Reheat the season with the salt and pepper. Finish with the cream optional. We can also add the cream into the puree, and also we can garnish the cream on top of the soup. And the next is cream soup. So we are going to discuss about the cream soup. Cream soup are based on bechamel sauce. Bechamel is the sauce which is prepared with the flavored milk and roux. Flavored milk, which is the boiled along with the studied cloved onion and bay leaf, and then this milk is added with the roux. Roux is a equal quantity of butter and flour cooked together. So when we mix both the ingredients together, the bechamel sauce can be prepared. Ingredients for making the vegetable soup, like the cream based soup or bechamel based soup. So we are going to discuss about the vegetable soup. So for vegetable soup we require the ingredients: mixed vegetable like carrot, beans, peas, cauliflower, etc. should be 200 grams. Onion, butter, refined flour, milk should be 250 ml. Cream, then vegetable stock, salt or white pepper to taste. First heat the butter in a pan. Saute onion and vegetable, whatever we using for making the vegetable soup. Add flour, cook for 1 minute and remove the raw taste. Usually first we have to prepare the roux, or if we have already prepared the roux, we can just mix into the stock and then simmer until the vegetable are soft. Blend the mixture into smooth puree. Add milk or bechamel sauce. Bring to a gentle boil and season with the salt, pepper. So just taste the when we check the salt, it must be appropriate and balanced taste. Finish with the fresh cream before serving. The next soup is chowder. A chowder is a thick soup and resembling with a stew made with meat or fish or any vegetables, often flavored with cheese. The recipe of a fish chowder, we are discussing about the one fish chowder soup, and the ingredients we required for making the fish chowder is white fish fillet. Fish we can prefer the cod, haddock or any other fish, should be a 500 gram, which must be cut into a chunk into the chunks. No. Recipe of fish chowder. So how to prepare the fish chowder soup? The ingredients what we required for making the fish chowder soup: the white fish fillet should be cod, haddock or any kind of white fish, should be a 500 gram. Potato, onion, celery should be cut into fine chop. Carrot, milk 500 ml, fish stock 500 ml, butter 2 tablespoons, flour 2 tablespoons, bay leaf, thyme, salt, pepper as per the taste, and fresh parsley for the garnish. Methods how to prepare the fish chowder. Firstly, we have to saute vegetable in a pot, melt butter and saute onion, celery, carrot until soft. Add potato and stock. Stir in potato, bay leaf, thyme and fish stock. Simmer until potato nearly tenders. Then we have to make the base of the soup with the mixture of little butter and maida or flours, which is known as roux. Stir into the soup slightly for the thickening. Usually this roux is we used to be for as a thickening agent to become the thicker of the soup. Usually the consistency of the soup become slightly thick by adding the roux. Add milk or fish, pour in milk and adding the fish pieces. Simmer gently until fish is cooked about 8 to 10 minutes. Season and serve. Remove bay leaf. Adjust seasoning. Garnish with parsley and serve hot with breads. Now the whisk. Whisk is usually again the thick soup. These are traditionally based on such crustaceans such as shrimp, lobster, crayfishes. These seafoods, these share the characteristics with the both puree and cream soup. We required the ingredient for making the whisk. Or mixed seafood, we can usually use the mixed seafood like a shrimp, crab, lobster or fish. The quantity usually 500 grams. Butter, onion, carrot, celery, garlic, tomato or white wine. White wine should be half cup. Method for making the whisk soup: saute the shell of the seafood, vegetables in butter until the fragrant and when the fragrant start to comes. Add tomato paste and wine. Cook until it reduced. Pour stock, add herbs and simmer for 30 to 40 minutes. Straight discard shells or and keep a liquid. We can strain all the soup, add cream, chopped seafood, meat, and simmer 5 to 10 minutes. Season and serve hot, garnish with parsley or croutons. Velouté soup. A velouté is based on a light velouté sauce, a sauce thickened with roux and finished with a liaison of egg yolk and cream. Velouté sauce is prepared with the help of any kind of stock, chicken stock, vegetable stock, or any kind of meat stock mixed together with the blanc roux. So the methods of making the velouté soup. Firstly, melt the butter in a pan, add flour, cook to a blanc roux, and do not brown. It must be a slightly brown in color. Add stock, gradually whisk in a hot white stock, stir to avoid the lumps. Cook gently for 20 to 25 minutes until smooth and slightly thickened. Strain the soup, enrich with the garnish of cream, or finish with the egg yolk if we decide, and served hot in a soup cup. Garnish with chopped parsley or small croutons. Cold soup. Cold soup, this is special category because this grouping of soup is served differently in chilled cup or bowls. The popularity of these cold soup has recently increased, and many soup that are prepared to be served hot, and can be served chilled, because these kind of soup usually served in the warmth area. And for instance of many puree can be served or chilled if they are made with a little or no butters, are thinned with the cream after chilling. Now we are going to discuss about the international soup. International soup, usually these are the recognition of the country, and usually these kind of soup are prepared with their unique ingredient or local ingredient of that particular country. So these are the different type of international soup, like a gazpacho. Gazpacho is originated from Spain. Mulgitwani soup, which is from India. Chicken broth, this soup is from England. Kokilike from the Scotland. Kam chowder from the America. Borsch from Russia. Beer soup from Germany. French onion soup from France, and minestrone from Italy. So these are the principle of soup, that how we prepare what kind of techniques we need to be follow while we are preparing the soup. So firstly, use the fresh and quality ingredients. Always check the ingredients. The ingredient must be fresh, neat and clean. Whatever the vegetable, meat, herbs, or any kind of spices which we use for the flavoring. Second, select the right stock or base. If we generally use the stock must be a good in quality. The stock can be vegetable, meat, chicken, or fish, etc. Third principle must be cut the ingredient in uniformly, because when we cut the ingredient like onion, like any kind of vegetable or meat items, that should be in uniformly, because that should be cooked properly in a proper time, so that the flavor and taste give a balanced texture. Next is control the heat and cooking time. Simmer gently rather than boiling to avoid the cloudiness and loss of flavor. Layer flavor gradually. Add ingredients in stage like aromatic vegetables, protein, seasoning to build depth of flavor. Season carefully. While making the soup, adding the ingredient like salt, pepper, any kind of spices should be gradually, to adjust the seasoning at the end for balance. Skim and clarify. Whenever we start to making the soup, we need to be remove the scum which comes on top of the soup always, because the cooking ensure to clarify and clean taste, balance thickness and consistency, use proper techniques, whatever the puree, by adding the roux, cream or any kind of starch to achieve the desired consistency. Add the garnish and finish the touch. We always use the fresh herbs or cream, croutons or drizzling or oil can be enhance the flavor, texture for the appearance of the soup, which it must be a look eye appealing. Soup must be served at a correct or right temperature. Hot soup should be served piping hot, and the cold soup must be a well chilled to high flavored. So this is the topic for the today. Thank you very much.